earlier. This is from the heat. So we are going to go on Journey to Imagination with Figment, actually before Soren, because I have service on this. And the posted wait is 10 minutes, which means it's most likely just going to be a walk-on. So they have social distancing markers. You can see every party has to wait. They're only loading a few rows in each ride vehicle and kind of separating parties. Hand sanitizer everywhere. See when they load the vehicle, probably actually the only ones in ride. Here's all the markers. 2. Two.
Brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Y cuida los pequeñitos. Gracias.
To ensure your safety on our sensory level, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Watchful eye on. Yes, please don't let your imagination run wild.
Bienvenidos. Para su seguridad durante su estadía en nuestros laboratorios sensoriales, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Y cuida a los pequeñitos. Gracias.
Welcome to a special drive-through of the trans. I'm Mr. Chairman of the Imagination. Look, on your tour, you'll see how the 5 human sectors can help capture your imagination.
Oh, can I go too?
Absolutely not. This is one of our discoveries, the figment of imagination.
Yeah, I know all about the senses. There's sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. Tastes like chicken. Can I go? Please, please, please.
No, I don't want you out of my sight.
Out of sight. Okay, come on, everybody. Here we go.
Figment, you are not to interfere with the tour. Our first stop is the sound lab. We'll begin by testing your hearing with a series of tones. Left ear, right ear.
Don't stop.
Continuing now with our many scientific free manner, the things we see with our eyes can control the eyes of the imagination. And let's begin by using the eye chart to test your vision. Now, all together, if you would please read line 3 and hit.
You can see things differently. Sure, you can see with your eyes, but imagine if you use your imagination. How about a bouncing pigment? What part do you like? Can write your face. Your mind sees more. But then what your eyes see, your sense of sight can make your fancy fly. There's more to sight than meets the eye. Coming to play? I'd love to.
This is not a good time.
It's always a good time to use your imagination. So that's a good time now. Wow, you win once.
Really?
Of course not. The nose knows. And then you really one lovely step. Give me a feeling. You're hiding high. When it enters. You tell something's not a road.
You know, I'm sorry, but after that big stink in the smell lab, I hesitate to send you into the touch and taste labs. Perhaps I should end my open house right here.
Great idea. We'll go to my open house instead. It's much more fun. Right this way, everybody.
What's going on? You're turning this entire open house upside down.
Upside down. Now you're talking. That's the best idea you had all day. It's just a spark of inspiration. I made my house and innovation, imagination really comes around. And upside down. Now here's a real open house. Come on in. So wait. It's exactly what I meant. Imagination is I know sort of.
Well, did you got me? Join us. We all have stars.
Imagination. Come on,
We set them free.
oh, magic words from me and you. You see, I knew to get it because you have a wonderful imagination.
Everyone actually listens really, really well.
So, as you can plainly see, imagination works the best when it's set free.
You said it, Doc. Imagination is a
Glass!
Now you invite you to set your imaginations free in the inward world.
So this area is normally all interactive. This is just kind of the COVID precautions. Nothing interactive is open because they don't want you to touch anything. This is normally music, the kids' play area. Right here's normally where you meet Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope. There are no character meet and greets right now. That's one of the biggest things that's different. Right now it's not crowded. Earlier today, from looking at the app and some of my friends that were here, it was actually kind of busy. Thank you.
You know how many people are in at one time.
They had little parades going around World Showcase with characters, Mickey and Minnie, on Elsa, pretty much any character that you normally meet in the park. Since they're not doing meet and greets, they just do these little parades where they go by on like a carriage or in a car. This area has no characters at all. They're all back in World Showcase. Monorail's not running here. It's running at Magic Kingdom, but you can't park hop right now, so there's no reason for this monorail here to be. Um, Indoor dining. Yes, there's really not anywhere doors except the Food and Wine Festival right now. So pretty much if you want to eat is going to be at a restaurant table service. They're all just not all running right now. So certain countries have restaurants that are open, certain areas don't. But right now, anywhere you want to eat in Epcot is almost all inside. Now we're going into the Land Pavilion, which has Soarin', Living with the Land, which is like a boat greenhouse ride. There is food in here, quick service food, again, inside. We're going in here to ride Soarin'. I'm definitely going to lose service once we get downstairs. Yes, it does still feel like you're getting the Disney experience. It's actually pretty similar to what it was before as far as that goes. If you can tolerate the mask, it's fantastic. It's actually probably better because you did the whole time at how busy everything is. The seventh or eighth day that I've been here, and it's a little bit busier than it was to start with. They tell you to put your mask on. They have people walking all around that are not. I depends if you don't comply. I'm assuming they get security and you get kicked out, but I've never seen there be a crowd of the police kind of watching you. So then right here, actually, this is how character dining works right now. This is one of the only places at Walt Disney World with character dining. They're up on the second level. So social distancing Chippendale. Normally this whole thing, you can see it a little bit actually, it rotates slowly. But up there where Chippendale is actually more seats. So all of that is closed and you just kind of see them from far away. Yeah, cast members are given the option to wear a face shield. They all have masks on. And Pluto and Mickey are also in this character dining. I don't know. I'm sure they're somewhere. As you can see, hand sanitizer, hand sanitizer. You do not need to bring your own hand sanitizer because there's so much here. The other thing they're doing right now is everything's one direction to limit traffic. People still don't know how to stay 6 feet apart, clearly. So if you're super worried about germs or COVID, I still wouldn't come. But nothing's really too awfully crowded. I'm gonna get you. Oh, this is, now we're gonna go on Living with the Land before Soren, so I don't lose service right away. I work at a doctor's office, and nothing has really, honestly, my life is basically working and going to the parks on weekends. So now that the parks are back open, it kind of feels normal. So I'm really a good person to ask that question to. Nothing's really been different for me except traffic's better. So all the cues. So there's a line you have to leave at each one of these markers. There's plexiglass up along all the railings. this ride actually goes into Epcot Greenhouse. The park is open and functioning. There's a walkthrough tour of the greenhouse. That's pretty cool. But right now, the thing's not doing any type of tours or anything. So we're this ride normally, honestly, is about the same. The longest it would get on a normal day is 25 minutes. So this is not really the best gauge as far as crowds go. Soarin's the next one we're going on. That's usually anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. And I haven't seen the wait time for that, but that's going to be the one that really tells you the big difference. 2 weeks ago, I think it was only 10 minutes. Longest wait. I've seen Splash Mountain a couple times at an hour, 2 or 3 different days. I haven't waited in it, but that's been the longest that I've seen. Oh yeah, they added this one. Less kids. Yeah, there's a lot less kids. The only kids that I've seen are pass holders. If you look right here, it's really not any kids. Families with vacations. They basically froze ticket sales several months ago, so anyone with a ticket had to select their day, kind of change their vacation, whether they liked it or not. If you had a vacation, you still want to come, too. Okay. But Disney, if you had a resort reservation, Disney tries to accommodate you at a resort that's currently open until at no charge. And I haven't seen it yet today, but every hour or so they shut all these rides down and clean them. What route?
Parents, please supervise your children and refrain from flashing timers or using video lights until we reach the greenhouse. Thank you. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy living in
plastic partitions in between the rows. Pretty empty a couple weeks ago to keep people away from each
A
other.
manera de recordatorio, no tomar fotos con flash y luz de video antes de llegar a nivel de voyage of discovery and awareness of the rich diversity and often surprising nature living with the land. Our journey begins as dramatic and sudden changes are sweeping over the land. The approaching storm may seem violent and destructive to us, but to nature, it's a new beginning in the beneath the surface of the land. Rich track water from the mud, extracting precious nutrients and minerals. The elements, when combined with sun,
This,
create a
right,
diverse
you're going to
system
get more on this one once you actually go on to the green house.
One of those living systems is the rainforest, home to the most amazing concentration of life on our planet. These dense and beautiful forests cover only a tiny portion of the earth, but they contain more than half of its plant and animals. Rainforests are also extremely rich and productive living systems, providing us with oxygen, food, medicine, and other elements essential to our lives.
I don't know if you can see it, but up there is the character dining garden grill.
In the desert, nature has created a very different, but no less beautiful living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. The American prairie once appeared as desolate as the desert, but over time, rainwater and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil that would one day become home to the American farm. Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, learning to ways to
Here at Epcot, we're learning to reduce the need for chemical pesticides by putting use of preventers like ladybugs and wasps to control pests. In the farmlands across America, we're learning that by plowing under vegetation containing natural fertilizers, we can enrich the soil without the use of chemicals. In agriculture, we're learning to reduce the amount of pesticides in Japan, we learned that by mixing these and other living materials into our soil, we can make farmland more fertile with chemicals. Here again,
how will we meet tomorrow's growing needs for food production, yet still respect the needs of the land? Some of the answers are being discovered just ahead. To help us maintain these carefully controlled ecosystems, and for your safety, please remain seated in your boat at all times. Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now and into the future.
Yes, I know. Welcome back. We've missed you.
The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins and minerals, while others are well adapted to growing in less than ideal conditions. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. One day, many of these lesser-known tropical plants may be as important as the bananas growing on both sides of the boat. More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world. When we mention farming, you probably don't think of fish, but fish farming, or aquaculture, accounts for nearly half of all the seafood consumed globally. Tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are three of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. The sustainable system we're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each year. Our small fish bowl produces nearly 5,000 pounds of fish each year to serve in restaurants around Walt Disney World. Innovations like this one can play an important role in our efforts to produce powerful harvests and still protect natural resources. While there are more than 50,000 edible plant species in the world, most of us are only familiar with the handful that make up our everyday diet. The common grains growing here, wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly two-thirds of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an important goal of research around the world. These plants are definitely on their way up. Innovative growing techniques like these increase yields while more efficiently using resources like water, fertilizer, and pesticides. Another innovation at work here is our integrated pest management program. By populating our greenhouses with beneficial insects that prey on harmful pests like aphids and flies, we are significantly reducing our reliance on conventional pesticides. We're growing these crops using our nutrient film system. This technique precisely controls and recycles water and nutrients. With it, we can produce over 27,000 heads of lettuce a year in this one small area. Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature, like these fruit and vegetable trees. By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look. In fact, we serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the lab every year. The future of agriculture may include innovative ideas like this vertical growing system. Plants grown in this way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases production. The aquaponics system on your left combines hydroponics with aquaculture. The fish provide a natural source of fertilizer for the plants, and the plants help keep the water clean for the fish. It's another great way to produce more while using less. In our lab, Epcot scientists are working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a number of innovative projects. The goal of these efforts is to produce higher yielding and better quality plants. These greenhouses represent just a fraction of the work being done worldwide to produce bountiful harvests for our growing population. Scientists, farmers, and even backyard gardeners are doing their part to improve the quantity and quality of foods that we all rely upon. Together, we can continue to find more ways to increase food production and protect our precious natural environment. Only then will we truly be living with the land. On behalf of Walt Disney World, we hope you've enjoyed this unique journey through our living laboratory. If you'd like a closer look, then check out the behind the scenes walking tour. It's a chance for the whole family to get up close and personal